Welcome to a safe place. I'm Tina.
I'm Renee. And we're good to go.
Go on, talk about it.
Talk about what?
What we're going to talk about.
No, look. What we were talking about last video was deciding to let go. Do you let go? Just how sad it is that you've got a family trapped within a cult. As in my case, I'm an ex-Jehovah's Witness and I have a whole family trapped within a cult. They don't think they're trapped.
Nice point. I was just thinking
They don't think they're trapped. They know they're not trapped. In actual fact, parting words to me are always, well, not always, because they don't speak to me much at all anymore. Sometimes.
Your brothers don't talk to you, but your mum sometimes does, yeah?
Yes.
Does she still sometimes talk to you?
Well, I don't want to get her in trouble. She's not supposed to, but usually it's related to contact. No, with the boys because
yeah.
she's going to see the boys or whatever. So then she makes the point that she can't talk to me, and her parting comment is usually, well, it's my fault. It's up to me. I can come back anytime. I'm the one holding the whole family up. So it's me who's made this decision to leave. It's not them that are trapped in it. It's not their fault. Stop blaming. I should stop blaming them. I don't blame them. I don't know why she says I'm blaming them. Do I blame them?
You don't blame them, no. No,
I never
you
blame
don't.
them.
No, you never blame them. You blame the bureaucracy in it, and you blame.
I say things like I want to catch up again, like I want to be with them again, and then they say, well, that's your problem, that's your fault, you know what to do. You know I need to just go back.
And what stops you from going back, Renee? Why can't you go back? Why can't you pretend?
I've thought about it. I've thought about pretending.
What stops you from doing it?
So my option is I could just go back and pretend that I believe it, or I could try and believe it, but I can't believe it. So I can't believe it because I've learnt so much about it that I know that it's
What if they're right, though, and that's just the worldly world, and so that everything that you now believe on the outside is just as damaging and untrue as what was on the inside? What if they're right?
This is what my son says to me, because I talk to my boys about it, and one of them says, you're trying just as hard to get them out as they are trying to get you in. You both believe you're right. Neither is going to budge. Neither is going to budge. Why do I believe I'm right? Why do they believe they're right?
Why do you believe you're right? Like, sexual abuse happens in all parts of society. Domestic violence happens in all parts of society. Why do you think you're right to not be in it? What if they are right and come Judgment Day, you're wrong?
What if they're right?
What if they are right?
Well, I don't believe they're right, and this is why. It's very hard to say, actually. It's just the build-up of many years of working it out. So why aren't they right? I think number one thing that pops into my head all the time is it can't be the true religion if they shun people, if they have to kick people out and shun them and cut them off, because
But they're doing that to preserve the bloodline of the purity, so that when the new world is created, it's created with purity.
Yeah, but I can see it through it. It's a manipulation thing.
But maybe the worldly world
I
has
see it-
manipulated you.
I see it as a way to... I like what you're doing here. I like what you're doing. And you know what? I'm not very good at answering these things, I've just realised, because I'm kind of stuck.
Well, because when you believe something is true, it's very hard to explain why, because people want evidence, and you can't always give it, because sometimes it's just faith, which is what you're...
No, I'm not faith. I'm not doing any faith. I don't believe in it. No, I don't have faith. I don't have faith. Faith is belief in the unseen and hope of the expectation it's going to come true. No, unless I see it.
So
no offense, like your little fairy friends. I'm not going to believe.
Far out.
I am not going to believe it unless I can prove it. Sorry, that's not. Oh, that's hurtful.
As long as you're aware that Odin, I'm just looking to see if Odin's coming to throw a hammer at you or sword down lightning bolts at your head.
So I don't
move
have
away from you
faith.
so that I am safe.
The reason why I
The
believe
branch is
things
going to fall down.
is
The fairy folks, so we're sitting in a place where I actually do believe there are lots of fairies and elementals. I'm just now waiting for them to attack her. And they will do that once they stop laughing at her. Keep talking. Try to not disrespect my beliefs in the process of me supporting you.
That was pretty rude. Sorry. I just love you fairies, that's all.
I don't own her responses. It's not impacting me emotionally at all.
See, they have faith that
you
there is a
also
Jehovah.
have faith that
I don't.
you would be able to get them out.
No, hang on. That's two different things.
No, it's all faith.
No, I don't have faith.
It's a belief in the unseen
No, I
as you
just
divide.
tried. No, I just tried. I don't believe that I'm going to get them out. I don't believe that. I just hope I can get them out.
So you have hope.
To get
Is
them
hope
out.
tangible?
The fact that I'm saying out
Is hope
shows
tangible?
why I don't believe in it, because I believe it's been concocted to be a group that's blocked themselves off from all of humanity, and so that's some of the proof that it's unhealthy. If it was true, they would be able to withstand any. Like they would, for example, they would be able to look up things. Oh, I'm not very explaining this very well, but they should be able to look up things and feel comfortable. The fact that they get cut off and say, no, you can't look up anything other than JW stuff is proof that they are blocked off.
It's proof that they're blocked off. It's not proof that they're wrong. It's proof that they're controlled and manipulated. It's not proof that they're wrong.
I wish I could call a friend right now. Phone a friend.
I was going to say that.
Do
Do you want to poll the audience?
Look, there's so many things. That's a pathetic answer. How do I know it's not true?
It's not a pathetic answer.
Because
it's what you're
it's
feeling. You're feeling
because
overwhelmed.
I don't think I have to disprove it's untrue. They've got to prove it's right. They've got to
Why?
prove it's right.
Why do they? They believe it's right. They have faith that it's right. Why do they need to prove anything? They're happy with the way their life is. They miss you, but they're happy with their lives.
I don't like the
Why?
way this video's going.
Oh, it's unfortunate, isn't it, that we don't plan these and script them a bit better, eh? Talk through the discomfort.
Well, how am I wrong?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think you are wrong. But I think there'll be a lot of
All right,
maybe
let's
teenagers
put it this way.
and
We're
stop
both
for a sec.
right. We're both right. They're right and I'm right.
Yeah.
They're right in what they believe.
Yeah, and you're right in what you
and
believe.
I'm right in what I believe. And unfortunately, their being right in what they believe
Means that you're no longer part of
precludes
their
them
life.
from being able to have me in their life.
And I think that's the true damage of cults and control.
Mm-hmm.
Because my family, my mum is a Jehovah's Witness. My dad is an atheist / agnostic because he's aging and he's now wanting to hedge his bets in case he has to meet Peter at the gates. I've got a sister who is not Catholic herself, but her husband and the kids are Catholic. And I have my other sister who's a bit more like me. She's a bit Buddhist eclectic, and so she does Buddhism, paganism, a whole heap of stuff. And then I'm Wiccan. But more solitary practitioner, pagan really more than anything. And so and then I've got my other brother who comes from another mother literally, and his mother is Buddhist, and so he doesn't really practice anything either, but is more open to different types of religions. So, but my family, we all value and respect each other's religious beliefs. Ironically, my brother-in-law and I do not respect each other's political beliefs, so we pick on each other for that all the time. There's still love there though. So I think that's the true damage. So for kids or for young adults or for adults that are sitting at home watching these going, wow, these two are really funny and amazing. That's the first thing you'd be thinking. But then you'd be thinking, I was thinking of leaving, but I'm
not a very good help
can
for
I
that.
withstand the loss of, well, I think you are, because 20 years on you're still raw and vulnerable in it, and I think that's valuable.
Not a good reason as to why you should leave. I've just done a terrible job, but I'll be honest, it's
No,
because
you
it shocked me.
haven't.
Because you didn't warn me.
Well, I didn't know where
but
it was
plus
going. I listened to
also,
the spirit.
If you really were a loving God,
That's my logic. There'd be no judgment.
if
That's
God
why I have an
was
issue with
truly-
organised religion.
If God was truly this loving, He wouldn't be subjecting.
But
people
God
to this.
isn't. And I think that's the thing we do. We blame. God isn't. He gave humans free will.
No, I'm just saying, their God, Jehovah. If He was truly that loving, and Jesus, He spoke to all sorts of people.
Oh, God,
There's
we're going to get all the
no
scriptures
way.
coming at us on the comments for this one. All of those trolls are coming back to correct both of us on our theology here. But I
Well,
agree with you.
My point is, that's number one reason why I won't go back, because I think it's evil.
Yeah.
If it was truly loving,
Then there wouldn't be shunning.
there wouldn't be shunning.
There wouldn't
and
be
they
secrecy.
Don't see it. There wouldn't be secrecy,
And
shunning.
there'd be respect. And it wouldn't be patriarchal, as patriarchally based as it is, where women are very much subjugated.
And they'd be willing to acknowledge that they've had mistakes, like child sexual abuse problems, and admit it rather than lie and say, no, there's no such thing. No way.
I think
we don't
this
do
is a
that.
problem with organised religion, though, and different
This
pockets
is upsetting
of
me
society.
because I'm thinking if my family's watching this, I've done a shocking job at talking them into coming out. I haven't done a very good job.
But it's not your job to control other people, otherwise you're just becoming that.
I just want
I think
to
that's
see
the issue. No, but I think the issue for you, and I'm being honest here, because we can be, even if you get angry at me and then make a comment about the aliens or the fairies or whatever, the issue here for you is you have to surrender control of their choices as much as you want them to surrender control over yours. So you wanting them to so desperately come and say, I'm not doing a good job, this isn't a propaganda video. And that's what you're wanting, is propaganda coming out from what you just said then.
No, I just
want... you want people to see the truth. You want people to see the light. You want people to free themselves from the bondage and shackles of JW. It's the same thing. They want the same things, but the opposite. They want people to come in and see the light.
So what? We're just all going to die at old age and just never have caught up and spoken again?
I hope not. I hope that there's some way of bridging it, because as you know, my mum and I get on exceptionally well, but I wasn't shunned because I was never in. And I wish that you could have the relationship with your mum that I have with mine. And I think it's sad that, and I think your mum would want that truth be told.
And
I
I'm
think it's
sitting here,
sad you
do I
can't
even
have
want them
it.
to see me sad about this? Do I
Of
even
course
want them
you do,
to?
because it's your truth.
Or should I just move on? That's what I did for the first 20 years, is I just went, oh, well, this is the choice. And no, I didn't miss them.
But I think what I talked about in my video
But now it
was
feels
you were
like
gone.
I'm trying to...
You're trying to hold on to them, and they don't want to be held on to.
No, they want me to come back. It's my fault. I've got to just go back.
It's not your fault, though.
What if I went back?
Well, what if you did go back? How would that impact your husband and the boys?
Don't worry about that. I would have been... not don't worry, because I'm not going to do it. But I'm saying I couldn't do it because I just...
No, but I think these are concerns, because
It's
I'm
just
sure you're not the
so-
only ex-JW that is conflicted and who's contemplated at times, even though you know won't do it, but contemplated taking the easier path to get your family back and lying and going
integrity,
back would stop that from happening.
I can't do it
Absolutely.
because I don't believe it.
But I'm sure you're not the only one that's considered it. And it is part of coming out of any cult, I'm imagining, because I haven't come out of one, I only create cults, I don't come out of them. Part of that, I imagine, would be this loss of what do I have to sacrifice? And as I said in my video, separate to you, that you can post as an add-on to one of these ones, is that when we lose that family and we make those decisions to come out in our truth, there is that risk that we're going to lose things that are important to us. That when we're not just standing in our truth, there's a sacrifice that must come sometimes from that. And that's often losing that sense of identity, belonging, connection to our birth family. So what I talked to the people about was finding that extended family where you can belong and creating a new world. So you can do that, which you've done with your husband and the boys,
Yeah, there's going to have to come a time where I'm just going to have to cut my losses and go. Oh, it sounds terrible.
No, it really doesn't, though. It sounds quite healing for you because it's liberating.
But isn't it crazy that this is the choices?
And that's what's sad, that these are the choices of
and
cult
this is why
life
we're
and trauma
fighting. This is why we're
gives.
fighting and protesting and...
Because you want
posting.
families to be reconciled, but you want them to be reconciled in peace. And without people losing or winning, it's not about that. It's about being truthful with what you believe. And realistically, there's no reason for us all not to be able to have it all.
If they just get rid of the shunning.
But it's not just that. There's a lot more that needs to happen. You can't just get rid of shunning. That would make your situation easier. But there's a lot in there that's damaged you.
I'm going to say harshly, I don't like this video. I feel uncomfortable.
Okay, well, we can stop it because Renee's feeling uncomfortable. And but before we do, it's really important that these uncomfortable discussions are had in our society as a whole, because it's through the discomfort that we find peace. This is a safe place, not so much for Renee at the moment, but she and I'll keep working through this. I'll get my magic drum out and chant with her in the forest with all the fairies and the aliens in the sky. And she's almost smiling, so might not succeed in that, but no, it's a safe place. We're going to continue this discussion off camera so that you can be assured that Renee will be safe. But if you need to reach out. It doesn't need to be to us. We're time poor, probably best it's not to us, but find your network, find some safe people.